12 boards. Minnesota splashing a season-high 21 threes in the win, but Towns just missing out on a medal. Nick, which three guys were podium-worthy performers last night?
By the way, just to remind America, I'm not a homer. Hallmark, a little overpriced. $8.95 for a greeting card. Chill out.
No, I didn't want to
bronze
say
medal.
it.
Jimmy B. Jimmy Butler, 32 points, 4 steals, a nice little memeable moment on the bench with Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler, are they the best team in the East? Is there a best team in the East? Who knows? Silver medal, Ja Morant. Our guy Ja Morant making the full-blown superstar leap, 28, 5, and 5, in a nice win over the frisky, we never talk about them anymore, Clippers. If our guy Charles still worked on the show, he'd be so mad at us. Clippers are finally not underachieving, and they get 0 segments a week. Gold medal, however, Chef Curry.
Yes.
I mean, is he playing at a higher level than 2016? Maybe. Did I think we were ever going to see this version of Apex Steph again? I did not. The numbers are actually better than that suggests. 40 points, 9 made threes. By the way, that gives him 38 games with 9 made threes in his career. No one else in NBA history has 10. But he had 20 in the fourth. The Warriors won the fourth quarter 36-8 to turn a double-digit deficit into a double-digit win. Steph deserves 2 gold medals for this game. Jenna, there is the podium. There is no disagreement. There's the podium from yesterday, last night in the NBA.
2 gold medals.
I think that should be a thing.
That's
Deserves it. We're not giving it to him. It's not allowed, but he deserves it.
I agree. Oh, okay. I agree.
So I guess it's not a thing. Can we talk about a couple of quarterbacks? Maybe did not deserve a gold medal last week. Both Baker Mayfield and Russell Wilson have had subpar seasons. Which quarterback needs to win more this week? Asked and answered next. First things first, on a Friday.
Tossed. Buffalo sauce. Hot honey.
Elsewhere morning show, we want to be the exclusive partner.
Yes.
I want a name, image, and likeness deal, but it's the opposite. I will pay you to sponsor it. I think actually be good for me. Miami Downs the Wizards. 4th in a row for Miami. They move into first place in the East. Big Face Coffee. Find it somewhere. I don't even know where to find it. Moving on to the wonderful Spurs Wolves. Look at this. Spurs get the steal. Mob guy on the floor, but no one is touched. He actually drops his towel, gets out of the way. Feels like this should happen all the time, and it rarely does. Great job. Spurs lose, though. They're 4-11. And finally, the weird. A lot of people writing letters, Jenna. My mailbox full. Hey, Kevin, why don't you put more KHL highlights in the show? I'm like, all right. I watched all KHL from Belarus. Belarus stream I have. The rare double knockout in KHL. It's a great game if you were up late for this after the Patriots. And that's weird and wonderful from the National Pastime. This is a great game. Wow.
That's what's streaming into your house?
I like the fight.
Wilds?
Oh, yeah.
Belarus hockey channel? I thought so. The game we've had circled for a while here. It's in the NFL. Cowboys, Chiefs, America's Game of the Week. Dak Prescott versus Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead for perhaps a who belongs at the top of Nick's tiers type game. I'm sure they all sit in the locker room talking about it like me and my friends do. You guys hear about the tiers? Both these teams have Super Bowl hopes this season. Both these teams got back on track last week with blowout wins. So what would a win mean here for Dallas? According to Jerry Jones, nearly everything.
Everybody's so excited over this matchup, and I am too. I have such respect for their coach. I have such respect for their organization, and they've certainly had a lot of success these past several years. And it's got all of the matchups of going in the Lions' den. They have great atmosphere. All of that is there, and they've got an outstanding team. We go up there and could come out of there with the win. It would be a hallmark win for us this year.
Hallmark win. Well, Nick, I'll ask you, who would a win Sunday say more about? Which team, the Cowboys or the Chiefs?
Jerry Jones, not only a smart man, but quite the wordsmith. I don't know if you know what he did there. Hallmark win. Hallmark based in Kansas City, Missouri. Much like the soon-to-be best team in the NFL based in Kansas City, Missouri, the Kansas City Chiefs. So here's the thing. Here's what Jerry Jones knows. Jerry Jones knows the worst year for the Chiefs since Patrick Mahomes took over is better than the best year for the Cowboys since Troy Aikman left. So 7-2, 6-4 doesn't matter. You have one team that no matter what, the media will try to lead you to believe about a blueprint, overrated, a stillborn dynasty, all these things. The actual other teams in the league still look at Kansas City as the team to beat. And by the way, the Dallas Cowboys can beat them. This is not some guaranteed victory for the Chiefs. The Cowboys are an extraordinary team. As Jenna alluded to, there's a reason they're at the top, 3 times at the top of the committee's prestigious tiers. However, what I am interested to see, and what I am most interested to watch in this game, Broussard, is we saw Kansas City dominate the Raiders. So Gus Bradley is the Raiders defensive coordinator. He didn't do what other teams have been doing, the 2 high shell safeties.
Right.
He did single high throughout a lot of the game. So where did Gus Bradley come from? Pete Carroll tree. Who is the Cowboys defensive coordinator? Dan Quinn, same tree. Same style of defense that he wants to run. Is Dan Quinn going to try to do what we do, or is he going to adjust? That's the first factor. The second factor that I want to see is how much of the Chiefs' defensive resurgence over the last 5 weeks is real. Now, I've shown you the graphics that they're, the best second half defense of the last 20 years in the NFL. We know that. However, even I will say some of that is Daniel Jones, Jordan Love, and then Derek Carr kind of giving up mid-game. Dak Prescott and a healthy Cowboys team can beat you in every different direction. Dak can beat you. The receivers can beat you, and we know their dual threat running back can beat you. So I don't need the Chiefs to, pitch a second half shutout as they have been doing consistently over the last month. But can they hold Dallas to 24? Can they show some resistance? Those are the things that, to me, will give real evidence that the Chiefs, once the defense got healthier and once they stopped playing Daniel Sorensen all the time, that they're a credible defense. So this is the game of the week for a reason. But to answer the question directly before I throw it to you, I think the victory would say more for the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys are still trying to prove that they belong at the grown-ups table. The Chiefs, everyone knows they belong at the grown-ups table. The question just is, did they have too much to drink before they sat down and they're spilling the food on themselves? The Cowboys, if they win this game, will be considered unanimously a credible Super Bowl contender or favorite. The Chiefs already are considered that. So I believe the game actually means more for Dallas.
All right, Nick, I agree with a lot of what you said. Like you, I'm interested in seeing, is this Chiefs defense really improved? They've allowed fewer than 13 points a game over their last 3. Impressive until you really look at who they were playing. The Giants, no big deal holding them down. The Packers without Aaron Rodgers. And the Raiders, who had a good offense but have been stumbling, the week before they stumbled.
Yes.
Right. And they lost Henry Riggs, which obviously hurt you physically on the field, but that had to have an emotional impact in that locker room that might derail the rest of their season. So they weren't the same team. So Dallas, as you said, is a real test for that defense. And if they do hold them to 24, as you suggested, that'll be impressive. And that will tell us, okay, this defense is now for real. And obviously you got faith in the offense. So the Chiefs are back. And for that reason, Nick, I think this victory would say more about the Chiefs if they win. Because I disagree with you. I think we know what Dallas is. Yeah, we look back at the last quarter century and say, oh, they can't be that good. Look at the last 25 years with them. They haven't done anything. But these are different guys. It's a different team. They've beaten good teams already this year. All right, they are legit. If they lose this game, no one's going to say, oh, see, same old Cowboys. They're not for real. No, they are for real. Kansas City, look, we don't know, Nick. One great game against, as I said, an emotionally torn Raiders team doesn't necessarily mean they got their swagger back. All right, they've got to go out and prove it. We're saying they're elite, based on the last 3 years, not based on anything really that they've done this year. You see that most of the good teams they've played, they've lost to. And some of them they've lost badly to. So I think if they come out and beat Dallas, we will know for sure, Nick, that the Chiefs are back. There'll be no more doubt.
So I'm gonna flip it, Broussard. And Nick, I'll ask you a serious question. I'm not gonna troll you or anything, although people seem to enjoy that. If the Chiefs lose in ugly or just like moderately ugly, but it's not like a close one that goes to overtime that you lose by a field goal. It's something where it feels like the offense is stilted. Do you think that will be an emotional toll on the Chiefs? Because I know we had a lot of fun with, like, they got their swagger back, but that was a real thing. Mahomes was talking about it, Kelsey was talking about it, and granted it manifested in a meme, but it showed us that they were lacking a bit of confidence, and they needed their confidence to come back up.
Yeah.
So now the thing that I would be worried about if I were you, that if they lose to the Cowboys, does that confidence not go middle, like we talked about how Giannis said, hey, don't go too far up, too high, too down. It feels like the Chiefs are on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And if they lose this one, they're like, man, we only had our swagger for one game. Are you actually worried